Oh yeah, I waited to sleep with my husband, and not because of purity culture, because I was getting laid by so many men I didn't need to rush. Okay, let me explain that. There's several reasons why I did not sleep with my husband right away. For starters, I had never had a single relationship that started out with schmecks right out of the gate end well. Not a single one. So I'm like, maybe I should try something different. I had also, asked a lot of my friends who were in healthy relationships, the kind that I was like, wow, like, that seems like solid. Common denominator among all of them, didn't rush into schmegs. I took note of that. Another reason I did not rush into schmegs is because I do not trust my trauma responses. I do not, and I know the reason why I got into that abusive relationship, among other reasons, one of the main ones is because I got clepmatized. I'm not even saying dipmatized anymore because it's not the D. It's the That man, I had never felt like my body was as heavy as a refrigerator, and that my blood was made of glitter, warm glitter, like out of body experience kind of O. I didn't even know that was possible. I had never experienced a real O until that man. And boom, I was hooked. I was hooked. That's what these men are so good at. They're usually abusive men are really good at eating. So knowing that that is what got me into a relationship, or like kind of was the big nail in the coffin, made me a little afraid because I saw in real time that hormones are a very powerful thing. Unbelievably powerful. I do not want to play that game. I never wanted something to cloud my vision and judgment like that ever again. I wanted the O like that again. But I excused so many red flags before and after, but especially after, because I was clepmatized. But the most important one is that why? What's the point? Schmegsual tension is awesome. Every time I realized that I didn't want to sleep with men that I saw a future with. Not only because I knew that as soon as I slept with them, I would feel like way too vulnerable and like way too attached. Like I know that about myself. I think a lot of women experience that. But I was getting laid by beautiful men all the time. Why do I need to sleep with this man who seems like he could be my best friend, but I'm also attracted to? Why do I need to do that right away? What's the point? I actually saw right out of the gate a future with this man. Why would I sleep with him right away? Like when I'm getting laid by all these beautiful men all the time, what's the point of sleeping with someone that I'm just getting to know? Because really all my schmegsual needs are being met elsewhere. And so I realized that the only reason I would sleep with him was for him, not for me. Because a lot of us sleep with dudes on the first night because, not just because we're corny little bitches, but because a lot of times we like, if they want to, we're like, okay, yeah. And then they ghost us and we never hear them again. Or they don't ghost us and we become crazy because our judgment is clouded and we're like, oh, so excited about them. And we're just like not our normal calm selves. And one of the things I've learned through experience, mostly terrible experiences, is that things that I try to rush, things that I try to force solutions to, things that I have a sense of urgency, like too much urgency, those are the very things that I should take slow. So I've always been attracted to my husband right out of the gate, but I know myself well enough. I know my trauma responses. I mean, I didn't actually. I've got way more than I thought, but I knew that it was full of schmegsual trauma starting in childhood. Why would I open up that very vulnerable place right away before I've developed any trust? So I really want to be clear on this. This is not purity culture BS talking here because I love one night stands. I had several schmegs friends. I mean, y'all, I literally wrote about like banging a bunch of dudes. That's what I do for a living. Even wrote about going to a schmegs club. I don't need schmegs from this man. I wanted it to mean something to me, not just be like something I get over with, because I've been doing that since I was a virgin. Not something that to do so that he'll like me more, or not something because I'm too impatient or feel an internal pressure to do. Because here's the thing, a long-term partner, yes, you should be attracted to them, but a long-term partner is supposed to be your BFF. That's what I wanted to focus on. And so on our first date, it started raining and we were walking around and we were near my place. And I was like, okay, this is annoying. Let's just go back to my place. And then on the elevator on the way up, I was like, just so you know, like, I don't want to sleep with you right away. I like you too much. So none of that hanky-panky stuff when we get back to my place, okay? He was like, absolutely, I'm on board with that. I feel the same way. So even just putting it out there took all the pressure off of both of us to be like, when's it happening? What do we do? And so we just went back to my place and we chatted. He sat on my couch and I put my legs over him like a like a roller coaster rail bar. And I remember we were just talking and he just kept like squeezing my big toe as he was talking, like not on purpose. He was just like, and it was like the cutest, most intimate thing. And it felt so safe. And without this like uncertainty or this big question mark over what's going to happen next, it took all the pressure off that. So we just focused on building trust, getting to know each other, like really like getting close here and all of these other connections. Because here's the thing, I'm not sure if I can be monogamous. And we also had that conversation before we got married. And we start thinking in these heteronormative purity culture systems. And a lot I have deconstructed because I have so many friends in the LGBTQ plus community and watching a lot of their relationships just grow into these beautiful things is because they didn't play by these stupid rules. They made their own rules. They all made their own rules. And I was like, I guess we can make our own rules. And we have. Schmegs is an important part of a relationship, but dude, I can get schmegs anywhere. I can literally go to a schmegs club. It's so easy for me to find that. It's hard, we do pay the pink tax of like, I hope you're not going to like when I do that, right? Like that, I'm not ignoring the danger factor. But do you know how hard it is to find a man that you feel so safe with, that you trust so much? Why would I play Russian roulette with that, knowing how much schmegsual trauma and codependency I have? There's no way. And that was one of the best decisions I ever made, was not rushing that part. Because apparently this bitch needs to feel safe. Who knew? Who knew that I had a very big wall around my heart, and that one of the ways you get to my heart is to not rush getting inside my... But yeah, if you date a guy that you like, keep forking whoever. Like, until you're in a committed relationship, you can do whatever you want. You're a free agent. Until you're in a committed relationship, no one can tell you to not, like, there's not, So I hope that helps. I want people to like really rethink what we've been taught. You meet one person, you're going to sleep with that person for the next 60 years. What? Or hookup culture. It's like, hey, let's sleep together right away. So that then I won't notice any of your red flags, like the fact that you have a really bad temper or you don't have a job or blah, 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 all that stuff. Jesus, it's this, no.